is going on, folks? Will Turbot here for Demand the Truth. Fake Mike, real news. What's going on, y'all? All right, sorry about that last one right there. I had to kill the stream real quick because my guest is going to come on at 6. We're actually not going to do a live. We're going to be doing a recorded broadcast. So I'm going to be talking to former BBC journalist Tony Gosling, and he is not only an incredibly smart person, and you have to be an incredibly smart person to be hired by the BBC, but he's also an extremely courageous person and an individual with a tremendous amount of character. And I support him because they said, hey, don't talk about the Bilderberg Group. And he's like, I'm going to talk about the Bilderberg Group. And they said, well, we're going to fire you. And so he kept it real. So if you guys got any questions for me, pretty much any question you guys want answered, I will answer it for you. We need you in New Mexico. I would love to be there. As soon as I got my own financial things I got to take care of, but once I get that, or if George Soros, go ahead and no, he's not fake news. He left fake news, D News, so he could tell the truth. What's up, Justin? What's going on, everybody? What up, Todd? Shout out to my man, Todd. Man, I'm too easily distracted. But yeah, if somebody gives me $1 billion, then sure, I'll be able to do all that. But great. So in the meantime, I will start. Why do you think conservatives support the police so much? Excellent question, Driving While Black. Let's highlight that, shall we? Well, oops, that's the wrong one. Have I seen JFK? Not in real life. Are you talking about the movie JFK? Have not seen it. Why do I think conservatives support the police so much? Because they think that is what they're supposed to support. However, if conservatives were truly conservative, they would not be supporting the cops because cops are inherently unconstitutional. And even before the COVID laws, they were doing terrible stuff. 17 eyeballs on this. That's pathetic, even for this channel. So share the video. Share the video. I'm going to read some of the comments you guys given me too. Bear with me right here. If I don't see your comment on the side here, I'll get to it. Let's see. You're quite an impressive young man. I pray great success for you. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Sydney May. Max MAXX Doran says, you're a smoking gun article from liberal left-leaning entities like Vanity Fair, the New York Times, etc. Don't quit your day job, dude. Laugh out loud. That's on one of my Pedogate videos. Yes, my police are unconstitutional. Conservatives say that the 10th Amendment allows for the general welfare and thus police, but the general welfare can't conflict with the rest of the Bill of Rights. So, and he's criticizing me because I was using liberal left-leaning articles in my Pedogate stuff. Well, yeah, because I've been talking about this for years, and now the media is catching up. Now, it's not like I'm using these things for everything, but when the mainstream is catching up to what I did years ago, that should show you that. I know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Tony Ye BX in New York says, I sued Miami-Dade with $300. This is on my another one of my videos there where it's talking about how I sold out because I basically took 10 hours of community service to get my case dismissed. So hey, it's not easy working the legal system against you. So I'm gonna sell out. Dallin says, I like your good videos, good stuff. Night Thief says, the Rosa Parks of snapbacks and you want to be taken seriously? I'm not trying to necessarily be taken seriously. We got to have a little humor here. I always said that I'm an idiot. I never said that I wanted to be taken seriously. However, we have had TED speakers, MIT polymaths, Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, award-winning CIA whistleblowers, neuropsychologists, respected economists, political candidates, and others on the show. So apparently someone thinks I'm someone thinks that I'm taken seriously. Whoa, you're spun. Stop smoking meth. Look at you. You're holding a whisk as a mic, dude. Thanks, E-dubs. Bill McGregor. Shout outs to Bill McGregor. Great scoop on the most important story of the decade, talking about Epstein. American Amy says, I understand how it is to have equipment and issues. Yes. I'm a sick individual. I need help. Blah, 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 all this stuff. Mole S says, you don't pay taxes, dude, and that's a proven fact. Actually, I do. Actually, I worked, and I've worked every year since I've been legally able to work. Second of all, every time I put gas in the car, go to buy a soda or a snack or a coffee, grocery shopping, I pay taxes. So you're an idiot. Mole S continues by saying, "You are so insignificant. Apparently, I'm not insignificant enough for you to be blowing up my comments. Get a real job, dude. You are not media. They know it, we know it, and deep down, regardless of how hard you try to believe it, you know it too." Well, I never said I was media, but I do have millions and millions and millions of views, not just on Auditing America, not just when we broke through to the national and international crowd. Uh, D News, Anaya Rules. Yeah, you can absolutely join me when I come to New Mexico. As soon as I get some money, I'll be out there. D News. Should a man get the ultimate punishment for a crime as a teen? I do not believe so. No. Yeah, Anaya Rules. I'm gonna put my contact here. As soon as I get some money, I'll be out there. If anybody wants to reach out to me behind the scenes, debate, discuss, send me information, work with me. Maybe you're a billionaire and you're looking for some money to get rid of. WilliamTurbot@gmail.com, right there. Yes, Todd. Think and Grow Rich. Just read that. Thanks to Todd. Very important book. This is a very interesting comment. Moody Bug 20 says, "I don't believe these characters even existed," talking about Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. "I think they were characters in a movie. So, as a whole, will think in this way, which in return will make these topics manifest, cause our collective consciousness creators. They need us for that reason." Interesting. Interesting take. I would love to talk to Adam Green there, Justin. I like a lot of his work. I don't believe um good question, Brendan. I'll answer that question. Um Geez, too much going on at one. And by the way, I booked some amazing, amazing guests for some upcoming videos here on this channel. Some really, really cool guests. So stay on the lookout from that, from a whole bunch of different fields. Oops, I'm hitting this Google Meet button. So that's the comment. That's the comments. Let's see. Sorry, typing stuff. All right. So, whoa, I'm gonna catch up. All right. So you should research Holodomor. What is that? Oil field trash. Could you elaborate? Opinion on kids going back to school. I don't think kids should go to school. I think kids should be homeschooled or unschooled. I think our government education is atrocious. Kids don't learn about civics. Kids don't learn about history. They have no idea. It's just propaganda, brainwashing. I think that socialized schools is bad. So yeah, I'm totally against government schooling. I don't think that the kids should ever go to government schools. If I'm lucky enough to have children one day, I would never send them to a government school. I would have them with a midwife. I would not vaccinate. I would not send them to school. But that's just me. Let's see. What do I think about Breonna Taylor? Well, Breonna Taylor was murdered in cold blood for no reason. And again, people say, well, why is everybody rioting? Well, because there's no justice here. There's absolutely no justice. Uh, People, they're going to try to charge this person with homicide. And people say, well, Breonna was this, and Breonna was that. Well, Breonna had this, Breonna had that. Okay, well, still doesn't deserve to be murdered. So, yeah, I think Breonna Taylor deserves justice, and I think those cops should be tried for murder. Let's see, the pen and the sword. How are you handling this current climate where you live? Hey, back to you, the pen and the sword. I'm slowly adjusting to the new world order. I hate everything being locked down. I get upset that we don't have any constitutional rights. We don't have any before this. We're on lockdown. Business is shut down. They're tasering innocent women for not wearing a mask. People that are preaching the gospel and not wearing masks or get arrested by cops without masks. They shut down the First Amendment. We're totally in the new world order. I've been speaking about this for years. We're here. I'm doing the best I can with it. But thank you for asking. I'm doing honestly the best I can. All right, what is Holodomor? I'm gonna have to research that. Let's see. I would open up another tab, but until my new laptop gets here, that would destroy everything. Interesting. Ben says the Venetian nobility have gone to Israel. Those are two of the major power players. I do get some criticism saying, "Oh, well, you're not talking about you're not talking about the Jews. You're not talking about the Jesuits. Well, I talked about the Vatican ad nauseum for a very long time. Said they were involved in trafficking. Said they were involved in raping children. Uh, and yeah, I mean, people say Israel runs everything, but the Anglo-American establishment created Israel, modern Israel, right? If you look at the Balfour Declaration, it says, "Dear Lord Rothschild, Pizzagate is absolutely real." Acura Amanda, I know. Where the hell you been? Yeah, shout out to Acura, Acura America, Acura America, Amanda, Acura there. How many years will it take to fix police brutality in America? It's gonna we're gonna keep having police brutality, and then as a result, we're gonna keep having protests and riots until, and I've said this for a very long time, we have a nuanced conversation about this as a society. And I do not see that happening anytime soon. So I foresee, unfortunately, more order out of chaos, more divine and conquer. Oh, interesting. Ooh, oil field trash. Okay. 1917 by the you know who's. I could guess who that is. Tech back academia. But I would do unschooling, but there's no diploma. You know what? Just have them go to I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I shouldn't. I'm not telling anybody how to raise their children, right? What happened to auditing America? His channel's up. He's been uploading videos. He's been owning people. What do I think of President Trump's relationship with Putin? I don't know. I don't know well enough about their interpersonal relationship to figure that out. I wish I did know. I did not know Russell J. Gould was running for president. I do not know. I didn't know that, and I honestly don't know who that is, so I couldn't tell you. How should people be taxed? Nobody should be taxed because taxation is theft. Uh, the reason I'm not for the Constitution. I am for human freedoms, but I tell cops, hey, do you believe in the Constitution? Because that's what we're paying them to do. But but no, I did not see your question about Fourth Amendment rights there. Oh yeah, and I just talked about Breonna Taylor murdered in cold blood. Even no matter what happened to her, doesn't deserve to die. Um, but yeah, going back to who and what should be taxed. Here's the problem. This is how I feel about taxes. Right? Taxes are not voluntary. I believe in voluntary association. I believe that if we're going to express our ideas, they should be done consensually. I believe if an idea is so good. Yes, I did see that, Kyle Savage. Yes, Anaya rules taxation is theft. Uh, yes, I did see that. Being tased for not wearing a mask. We just talked about that. So yeah, I believe in things being voluntary and consensual. So if I'm out and if I'm taking a jog and it's super hot out and I see somebody selling bottled waters and that person has bottled waters and I have a dollar or two and they say, hey, I'm charging a dollar or two for water. And I say, hey, I want your water. Well, we'll exchange currency. I get the water I drink. That's completely voluntary. If a guy goes out to a bar, sees a hot girl, and he says, hey, I'd like to buy you a drink and take you out on a date. And she says, sure, I'd love to have a drink and go on a date with you. Well, that's voluntary. So the two non-voluntary ways of going about that situation would be if I just stole that water or if that guy just raped that woman. Those are not voluntary, those are not consensual. So the reason I say that is taxes are not voluntary. So let's just say you don't agree in universal health care, or you don't agree with spending your tax money to support vaccinations or frivolous government research, or the CIA or the military, or just say you don't think your tax money should be sent overseas to bomb brown people. Well, then men with guns are going to come to your house and take you to a cage. So that's not voluntary. So I believe that taxation is theft. I don't believe in theft. So Bell admin, yes, Twyla. Let's get in touch with Todd. He's the man. All right. So that was pretty interesting. Um, let's see what we got here. Did you guys hear about the You guys here that are looking into the, yeah, take a look at this. This is trending in the United States from Huffington Post. I woke up to this. Huffington Post personal piece of the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg pushed me to join the Satanic Temple. So Huffington Post, I woke up from an article from my cousin today saying, now that RBG's dead, I'm going to join the Satanic Temple on Huffington Post. So that's interesting. I'm going to hop off this in about 20 minutes, and I'm going to get ready for an interview with Tony Gosling, former BBC reporter. He's the man. Can't wait. That should be coming out tomorrow, the next day. Yeah, Biden's lied. Yeah, well, what are my thoughts on Biden voting for segregation in the 70s? He's a racist. He's a pedophile. He lies incessantly. He has dementia. And this is the oh yes, I remember that Fourth Amendment rights. Yeah, I believe your daughter being searched at school is unconstitutional, right? You have the right to privacy. It's a public building, right, that you finance with your tax money, and it's for education. So I don't understand how they could subvert your Fourth Amendment rights. So there's that. I'm not in favor of that whatsoever. What does anarchy actually mean? Anarchy doesn't mean no rules, it just means no rulers. It just means no rulers. It just means doing things consensually. Yep, Justin, don't forget about the Bilderbergers, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission. I do, Elohel, I do not think, well, I don't know. I think that global warming may be real, but I don't think I don't think by paying carbon tax to Al Gore and the Rothschilds will save us from that. I think it obscures true environmentalism. We have some of these companies dumping toxic waste into the water. We have an island of plastic trash, all this other stuff. Yes, anarchy is not what you've been told. So I do believe in the Constitution as far as, okay, so we have a contract, Constitution, the Bill of Rights, with the government officials, right? Governors, presidents, so far. Yeah, searched like a criminal at school. Now, I can agree with being searched if you get a warrant and there's probable cause, sure. But do you think society can be morally subverted? If so, how? Well, so what I was saying about the Constitution, it's a good starting place, right? So we went so far from the Constitution that we're not even there anymore. It's opposite of constitutionality. So let's at least get these people to do what we're paying them to do, right? We're paying people to uphold our constitutional rights and they're doing the opposite. So let's start there and then go ahead. Yeah. Yes, anarchy is following the golden rule, Kyle Savage. Do you think society can be morally subverted? Yes, and it absolutely has, can and will. Anybody that is familiar with Edward Bernays, who was the nephew of famous psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, is very well aware of the fact that our morals can be subverted, and he understood group consciousness, groupthink, and he used that to mold society along with several others. So yes, we most assuredly can be morally subverted. It has happened. It's continuing to happen by the societal engineers. Anaya, how do I feel about NFL, NBA, other sports protesting and being involved in politics and civil rights? Well, a lot of people are upset about that. But I remember I've been watching sports since I was a little kid. I used to love sports until I realized it was a bread and circus to keep us distracted. And people love to yell and scream at the football players that have no bearing in life, but they call me crazy when I yell and scream at pedophiles like Joe Biden. So it's a complicated situation. But I've been saying for years, I think that athletes should be using their positions of power to speak more truth to power, right? Because they're like, we have all this stuff going on and everyone just shuts up. Now, I don't like the fact that some of these athletes it's their right to protest, but it is also their right to, it's a job, right? Yeah. So if I go into my job, and I start kneeling and there's customers there, I'm going to get fired. So they can get fired, but they still have that First Amendment right. I don't like how they're so mad at the United States, but then they don't care about what's going on in China and the human rights violations over there, right? They love China, but they hate the United States. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. I remember listening to Nas saying rappers of today are scared to make Muhammad Ali statements, and I think that's That's how I feel about that. I think people have the right to protest. I do believe the owners or managers have the right to fire them for the protest. I support the protest. I think police are out of control and unconstitutional. I don't think they understand the nuance of everything, but that's how I feel about that. Interesting. The Bernays family are involved with Netflix. Please send me some links to williamturbot@gmail.com right there. Oh yeah, exactly. Right before Rome fell, everyone was watching the gladiator games, and then they flood the Colosseum, and then have naval games in there, and people be killed, and all this other stuff. And meanwhile, Rome's burning. This guy's marrying his horse. Nothing to see here, and that's what they do. And that goes to Edward Bernays too with the sports stuff, because they understand we're tribal people, right? So Yankees, Red Sox, or the Giants and the Cowboys, Redskins, Cowboys, whatever. Yay, boo, and they understand that, and that's part of the reason that unfortunately we've let the rain slip. Lawfully suspicious. Why would you never protest? I know a lot of people say, "Well, this protest didn't do nothing. You had 6 people here. You had 30 people here. Protest did nothing." True, but not true. So Titus Frost, he has about 45,000 subscribers on YouTube. Since they shadow banned him, should have way, way more. He's got millions of views on YouTube, and it all started because he saw somebody on a sign that said "Rethink 9/11." So one person holding up a sign inspired Titus Frost, and Titus Frost has millions of views and thousands of subs. So that's a victory for one protest. Every single time I've had a protest, I've had many. I at least meet one person to network. I at least have one other person say, "Hey, yeah, what's going on with this?" So yes, if I start a protest tomorrow, chances are I'm not going to save the world. However, I will find another like-minded person, at least one other like-minded person to build with in the future. And then I'm sure, I mean, and just by doing these videos, so I'm curious to see that. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Exactly, Kyle Savage. Exactly. They'll distract us from the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and the CIA. Had a conversation today with somebody. They hate Trump. They think Trump's the worst, and their job is to get Trump out of there. I said, "Great. How can I help? Do you have any ideas? What do you think is effective?" Because I'm not for. I mean, the only president I thought was kind of cool was JFK, and they blew his head off. So just get, and that's why I'm not so big about the damn election. Where you got Trump, and you all know he shut down the Constitution, destroyed the economy, banned bump stock, said, "Let's take the guns and worry about the due process later." Hired AG Barr, who had to recuse himself from the Epstein thing because of him and his father's involvement with Epstein, and also the fact that he said Epstein did kill himself. Then you have Wilbur Ross, Rothschild banker, Bilderberg member. Don't forget Donald Trump sending Kushner and Wilbur Ross to Bilderberg. So uh, not breaking it up, doing that. Wilbur Ross, also Epstein friend. Steve Mnuchin couldn't wait. He could not wait till Epstein got out of jail for child rape to go party with him. Then you got Alan Dershowitz, who wants to lower the age of consent to 14, Epstein's buddy. Then you got Alex Acosta, who Trump appointed, who gave Epstein the sweetheart deal, and on and on and on. And then you have Joe Biden, who's an open pedophile. And they're both war criminals, because whenever you go to war or continue a war, Congress has the right to declare war, right? But we haven't had one of those since World War II. So every military intervention or so-called war since then has been a war crime. So that means Clinton's a war. I'm sorry, how far do you want to go back, right? So Trump is a war criminal because he expanded and continued not just the Trump, pardon me, not just the Bush and Obama wars, but also Syria, Yemen, etc. Obama said he was going to end the Bush wars, expanded them. Bush, I mean, geez and crackers. Okay, well, lawfully suspicious. I'm yes, it does end in police brutality to the people a lot, unfortunately. But I still stand by what I said. I do think it's good to network, and I guess we're going to have to try some other tactics. But you know what I find interesting, and I do not condone violence. I'm all about self-defense. Do I think reptilians are real? I have no idea. I mean, I can't get people to believe. I can't get people to believe that the Federal Reserve is illegal and unconstitutional, that the CIA is illegal and unconstitutional, foreign wars are bad. I told everybody about child sex trafficking. They don't even believe me on that. They still think I'm crazy even when I'm reading it from the mainstream news, which said what I said years after the fact, vindicating me. I mean, I've been right, and I'm not bragging here. I'm an idiot, but I can read. Not very well, but I can read. So I read the fact that they're doing geoengineering and that they're doing chemtrails. They said I was crazy, but I was reading their own information. Years later, it's all come true. And Bill Gates, the same guy who saw Jeffrey Epstein coming out of jail, he's never been friends with me before. He's like, I'd like to be friends with that guy. That guy raped kids. I want to be his friend. Let's be friends. And let me give him $2 million. He also admits he wants to dim the sun. And there's conferences on geoengineering. So we're right again. Righto. Getting my British ready. So there's that. And then also, I said there was a massive pedophile ring involving the elite. Vindicated. Told you fluoride was bad for you. 2 Harvard studies later. Vindicated. Told you the cops don't care about the Constitution, neither do any other perfect servants. Vindicated. I mean, on and on and on, and I'm vindicated. I'm right. I'm right. You're gone. So yeah. So I think we'll get to reptilians once we bring Edward Snowden home, stop the NSA spying, stop the illegal wars and child trafficking. Then I'll get right to reptilians. It may be true. And David Icke makes a rather compelling case, but I think I need some more evidence. You don't think Breonna Taylor having a history of dead body in a rental car is significant? It may be. But if I had I mean, let's just say Hitler reincarnated and came to this earth right now and started a new genocide and had 1,000 bodies in his trunk. He still deserves due process of law. He doesn't deserve to be murdered. Nobody deserves to be murdered. You still deserve due process of law. And as you know, I've interviewed people on this channel who were in jail for 27 years for a crime they didn't commit. The Bushes and Clintons are flying around the world like it's nothing, while we're in lockdown and a bunch of people are in jail for weed. Let's see. How long have I known I'm gay? Well, I think it was when your mom started looking more masculine, Howard. Over the years, she slowly deteriorated. She was not a good looking woman anyways, and I would have to get heavily, heavily drunk in order to bone her. But then she started really losing sight of herself. She started becoming masculine, but my love knows no bounds. So I still continue to plow your mother, even though she looked like a man. So thank you, Howard, for putting up with that and allowing me to be your stepfather, Howard. Why am I holding an egg beater whisk? Well, good question. This little ditty, well, when I first came out on the stage, on the scene, I was wearing a suit, cheap suit, had a fake microphone in my hand. I thought that would be good. I thought people would take me serious then. I thought all the politicians I confronted would finally listen to me. But they didn't. So I realized that wearing makeup, which I've never done, and walking around like I was somebody serious is not the way you do things. This represents transparency right here. This represents that I'm not financed by the military industrial complex. This represents the fact that I've not taken $1 from Big Pharma. Well, not even a cent, 1 red cent. I get $26 on Patreon. And none of those people are Big Pharma that I'm aware of. I also represents the fact that I didn't lie about weapons of mass destruction or the Gulf of Tonkin incident, or didn't cover up pedophiles in pedophile rings like Jeffrey Epstein. That's why I'm holding a list. It's a fake mic, real news. It also reminds me, like Todd says, to put my chest out, be confident, and giggle a little bit. Don't take yourselves too seriously. Fake mic, real news. That's what it represents. Good question. Is there a donation link so we can raise money for a real mic? No. This is an acoustically superior piece of work right here. Thank you, Breaking the Flaw, for that, but much rather have this than a whole bunch of makeup and then not wear my mask. And when the camera comes on, I'm going to wear my mask and tell you to be scared. Big Pharma just gave me some money, and I'm going to tell you what to think. Thank you, Anai Rose. Oh, Bama fan. Real Mike, fake news. Good one. I appreciate the thing. If anybody wants to donate to me, you can I'm gonna start a Cash App probably soon. I get a PayPal over there, but I just get the checks. So Patreon, if anybody wants to donate, you can just email me. That's great. But please only donate if you have more than enough money and you and your family are totally secured and safe, and you've done something for missing, killed children and homeless. But if you still have, um, let's see, what Tupac or Biggie? I'm more of a Tupac fan, but my favorite MC of all time is Cannabis because he's a beast. He's the most lyrical MC. I love Wu Tang too. Is Breonna Taylor the worst unjust killing in my opinion? Um, I disavow any shootings of police officers. You're not gonna reform the police by killing them. Um, but it's definitely not the most atrocious. I mean, you go years after years after years. We've had some pretty atrocious murders here. Where are the missing children going? Well, we do know that some of them only go for a few hours, and I have covered on this channel that some of these children have been raped and pimped out and sold drugs. So, oh, I didn't see Prince Harry was supporting Joe. So if somebody from a family of pedophiles and Nazis is supporting a pedophile Nazi, go figure. Imagine my shock. All right. Well, you know what, Kelly Dawes? If you can send me a link to a snapback top hat, I will wear it. Yeah, Prince Andrew, all this stuff. So I got a couple more minutes, and then in a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and record an interview with Tony Gosling from the BBC. But I wanted to get in on here and shoot the ish with you guys. How can you guys get me into the White House press conferences? Good question. Well, the White House only offers press credentials to certain people, so I would have to maybe apply, and they would have to give it to me. But can you imagine that if I was in there with the press? Now that would be fun. I don't know. Maybe call the White House. Well, I mean, I'm not honestly sure of the murder of the Tuttles, so that should just go to tell you about the press coverage there. Um, well, the media is going to divide and conquer. Even when they get something right, even when the media is right about something, they're still going to use it to divide and conquer. So that's what's happening. We're going to more divide and conquer. The elite are laughing while we fight each other instead of starting a revolution. If Elvis Presley is still alive, I wouldn't know about it, but he is a pedophile. He married some girl when he was 14, when she was 14, or he started boning her or something when he was 14. So the king is a pedo. Yes, we need to march on BBC is biased, do not trust. Oh no, he left the BBC because he wanted to cover Bilderberg. He didn't want me to. It doesn't fit there. Am I white or Latino? Well, I was the only member of Latinos for Kamala Harris when I confronted her that day. Me versus Kaylee. Who's Kaylee? I'm not a big fan of following these people. Did the elite kill Tupac? I don't know. No revolution. You just start growing our own food and stop supporting Amazon, McDonald's. That's a good point. We all need to grow our own food. Maybe some victory gardens like they had in World War II would be a great idea. I love that idea. Unfortunately, we also have to stop the chemtrails too, because the chemtrails spray all this toxicity on the stuff, and all the other stuff and the Roundup spills over, and it's still, we gotta get to that. But you're absolutely right, Ben. I couldn't agree with you more. I thought the White House press secretary was somebody else. Oh, Ashley. Yeah, yeah. Okay, the McCartney or whatever her last name is. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Have you seen the movie Pawn Shop Chronicles? No, I will look it up. Actually, pedo is not the correct term. Do you think Freemasons are racist? Yes, because the Prince Hall Lodge of Freemasons, which is the Black Lodge, is still segregated from the York and Scottish rites, and Masons can go anywhere they want in the world, but the black ones can't. I'm not a UFC fan, but I respect what they do. Um, oh, Shaman time. Well, if you're that lady, was that the Rhode Island State Trooper or Lincoln State Trooper? Just kick the lady right in the face. It doesn't take any licks; they just kick you in the face. Oh wow, I had no idea about the Tuttles. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I find that. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, and another thing, I'll just say one last thing about the media it's pretty telling, right? Because the media didn't really cover Philando Castile like that, and you know who also didn't cover that is Hitler. But you know who also didn't cover that is the NRA. Philando Castile was a legitimate gun owner who was murdered in cold blood, but the NRA didn't help out, and that's the problem. If the media and the NRA all got together, then we'd okay. I got my last question right here. Thoughts on Snowden? Yeah. So pedophile is 13. Then I guess you could become a hebephile. I just use that as a catch-all phrase. You're probably right. Lawfully suspicious. My thoughts on Snowden. Um, People say all the time, and this is not just for Snowden. This goes for anybody. Um, Sorry, just setting up here for the thingy. Edward Snowden. People always say, "Oh, this guy's a disinformation agent or limited hangout." I will say that if I find any proof. Until then, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Everyone's like, "Oh, Alex Jones is a shill. Oh, this person's a shill. Assange is a shill. Snowden's a shill." Maybe they are. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. I don't know. So I give everybody the benefit of doubt until I see overwhelming proof of it being a limited hangout or a false flag or what have you. Or so the way I see things now, Snowden is a true American hero, and it's very unfortunate they told us as far back as 2013 that we were being spied on and nobody gave a damn. So with that, I'm going to record my interview with Tony Gosling. So stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please go to all my different playlist channels. Get my word out. The only way I can reach new people is you guys sharing the videos. It's literally the only way that I can do it. So I don't reach anybody unless you guys share the videos. Been shadow banned, demonetized, didn't even get a cent. If you want to donate, fine, williamturby@gmail.com. Hit me up at Patreon, but the best way to help me out is to share the videos. And remember, I'm not going to wear no makeup. I'm not going to take any money from Big Pharma, the military industrial complex. I'm just going to be a wigger with a backwards hat and a fake mic. Real news. Peace out, folks.